As soon as I remember... I have to stifle a smile every time I remember the look on my retainers' faces when I informed them of my plans today. Panic-stricken, but unable to muster the courage to say anything in opposition. Yes. An idea. Everything's in place and they've taken the bait. Yes. Now to start reeling them in. A smile every time I remember the look on my retainers' faces when I informed them of my plans today. Panic-stricken, but unable to muster the courage to say anything in opposition. Yes, this was a fine idea. I'm sure I've forgotten. Not to worry, I'll send someone to fetch it. As soon as I know what it was. cave. Let's take...
Hi there! You must be visiting from Liyue to participate in the Iridori Festival. We'll be your guides and we'll take you onto the island. Huh? Paimon? Not so much.
We have calligraphers, painters, and even players of Theater Mechanicus. The inventor of Theater Mechanicus previously came to the Feiyun Commerce Guild seeking investment. Although the guild manager was not interested, Master still wanted to support them. We heard that they'd be demonstrating the game and letting people try us at the Iridori Festival. So the Master and I to take the opportunity to come to investigate the product's potential.
Of which, where's the young master?
He's...
Whoa! Xingqiu's just sitting there, sound asleep.
What? Oh. It's the Traveler in Paimon. I presume you are guests in Inazuma as well? It seems fate has destined our paths to cross once again.
Oh, we aren't actually guests. We're actually guides for the Iridori Festival.
Been a novel on the voyage here. When I finally realized what time it was, the first rays of dawn were already peeking over the horizon. Yes, now that we've arrived, the Conjo Commission will likely wish to inspect our invitation letter. Let's keep it in hand, shall we? Huh? That's odd. There was a piece beneath my back. Strange. I'll see.
There's no doubt about it. It's from the same series as the story we found before.
The story you found before?
Oh yeah, in the warehouse down by the poem hunt competition. Yeah, that. A friend of ours is on retail to paint portraits of the five Kasen. As part of the Iridori Festival. Poetic stories about the five Kasen have been hidden in various places nearby. If you can find one of the stories and give it to this friend of ours, then there's a chance you'll become the model for the next portrait.
Wait a moment. So you mean that...
Hey! It's hard coming up with stuff on the spot like that.
There's a chance of meeting Calx in person?
Huh? Oh, yeah. You could say that.
Really? That's wonderful! I knew that Calx would attend the Irodori Festival, but convincing my father to let me come to Inazuma was proving to be quite the high hurdle. I had to really wrap my mind to come up with the excuse of evaluating the investment in theater mechanics. A few days word then came that Calx would be busy painting portraits of 5 Kasen during the festival. It is a most rare opportunity for both Calx and I to be in Inazuma together, but it seemed he would be too busy with the portraits to meet with me. So, I felt quite disappointed for some time now.
Don't worry, Shinjo. Even though Calx has work to do, he still has time to see friends. We can take you to see him right now. Also, we heard that Calx did illustrations for your A Legend of Sword novel.
So you've already heard. To be honest, my works have drawn little interest in Liyue. However, the novels are selling quite well in Inazuma with the help of Calx's beautiful illustrations. Calx is not only a skilled artist, but he also carries out his craft with great alacrity. I heard that it took him merely a few hours to finish the illustrations for the latest chapter. I looked at the art. The brushwork did not even look this bit rushed. Truly exquisite. There.
The idea of meeting Albedo Man Shincho's attention and under wraps. Just how slip while meeting Albedo.
It's time to move on. We shouldn't stay here.
What a coincidence. I was wondering where I might be able to find you. And yes, indeed. I believe Klee has missed you tremendously. As much as I like to sit and... This time, I'm here mainly for Klee. Before bringing Klee here, I told her many stories about Inazuma. It got her very excited to experience the local culture here. However, I've got other things to do in Inazuma this time, besides painting the portraits of the 5 Kasen. Over the next couple of days, I won't have the time to show her around. Inazuma is not like Mondstadt. I can't just let Klee wander off by herself when I'm busy with other things. So I had to have her stay at the International Trade Association while I finish my work. She hasn't complained, but I can tell she's not enjoying being stuck there on her own. Fortunately,
Yeah. But Albedo is really busy. I can't go too far away or he'll be about me. Aw, Clee, you're such a thoughtful kid. Paimon's very thoughtful, thank you very much. Paimon always thinks of you whenever she's eating a delicious slime. Yeah, that's more like it. Anyway, it is pretty cruel not to let Clee go out when she was so excited to come here. Yep. Allow the almighty traveler and dependable Paimon to bring Clee on a tour of Inazuma.
Clee, do you want to play with Mr. Keep an explosion somewhere in the city? Clee could very well get in trouble. Glad to hear it.
I promise I'll bring you back an awesome souvenir, Mr. Albedo.
Great. I look forward to it.
Some cool things to do in Inazuma. What's that? You know, food and drink. Paimon just meant... time. Got it. All right, snack time it is. Let's go.
Not like that at all.
Why do new explorers make the same mistakes over and over again?
Wow, something smells so good. I think it's coming from the steaming thingy. Mr. Honorary Knight, look at this noodly soup. It's so pretty. There's so many nice things inside.
It's not noodly soup. It's tonkotsu ramen, actually.
Oh, so, what are those yellow and red thingies on that plate?
You're kidding, right? Those are tri-flavored skewers.
And what about this little yellow cake?
That's an egg roll. They're amazing. Have you really not tried one before?
Wow, tonkotsu ramen, tri-flavored skewers, and egg rolls. They all sound delicious.
They sure are. Guess you're not from if you haven't tried any of these before. Let me buy you an egg roll with my allowance so you can get a taste of Inazuman food.
Really? But that I should other people's things. Although that's allowed, right? Another kid's allowance just seems kind of wrong.
Oh, I remember you. You're Yoimiya's friend. How come you know how to make egg rolls?
Egg rolls egg rolls are a piece of cake for this guy. Why don't you make some for Klee and Ewell? Really? Wow, Paimon is so touched! You're learning! Alright, we'll be waiting on those egg rolls.
Special for sale.
Mr. Honorary Knight, what do egg rolls taste like?
Wow, you really can cook them. You're awesome, mister.
It's sweet. So yummy. Yep. It's delicious. Traveler, you are the best.
Yeah, these egg rolls are pretty good, but I still think Yoimiya's are better.
Who is Yoimiya? She makes egg rolls too?
You can do anything. Too. You're pretty much the best and most person ever.
Most awesome person is my mom. And Klee knows loads of other great people too, like Albedo, Mr. Honorary Knight, Master G. Surely she's not going to name everyone she knows.
Oh, well, I don't know any of those people. But anyways, I still want to introduce you to Yoimiya. If you want, I'll take you to find her. In most festivals, Yoimiya's so busy that you can never find her. But this festival's different. She has free time, so she can play with us. She seems like she hasn't been in a great mood recently, but maybe seeing you will cheer her up. Mia, don't be sad. Yesterday, I won 3 beetle fights in a row against that guy with the horns on his head.
Wow, Matsuzaka. Nice work. It's not easy to beat Ito. Don't worry, Yoimiya. Maybe you can't light fireworks during the Irodori Festival, but there are still lots of other fun things to do. I know. Thanks, you guys. It's just that fireworks are banned in the city for a few days. I'm not that upset, really.
Yoimiya, it's me! I want to introduce you to a new friend, an Outlander girl. I just met her. Wait, what's your name again?
Klee! My name is Klee.
Nice to meet you, Klee. I'm Yoimiya, and I run Naganahara Fireworks.
Hello.
I love the cute outfit with that and the unique. And your backpack. Wow, it's really well made.
That's a leaf clover. Mom and said it can be good luck.
Really? That's awesome! But everyone would love one of those. Also, that little fairy on your backpack is super cute too.
That's Dodoko, my best friend. We always go fish blasting together in Starfell Lake.
Oh, Dodoko? What an interesting name. I really like it.
Yep. My mom says that when a Dodoko is born, it rides the wind and goes off on a big adventure.
Ride the wind and go off on a big adventure? Klee, your mom sounds like a very cool person.
Yep. My mom is the best and most awesome person ever. And Yoimiya, Iwao was right. You're a really cool person too.
Thanks, Klee. I feel like we really get each other.
We'll be great friends. I'm sure of it.
It's so heartwarming watching these two chat away.
Hey, Clee! Since you like much, make a firework with a 4-leaf clover it off for you. And after that, we can go with the... I get so excited that I completely forgot about that. The folks from the Yashiro Commission specifically warned me that no fireworks are allowed in Inazuma during the Irodori Festival. What? It's not allowed? But...
Aww. Okay then. Hey, come on! You just made a new friend! This is... There are lots of fun things to do.
what do you say, Clee? Sounds like the Irodori Festival could be a real blast.
Okay then, let's go!
In the name of the princess... When the wind of death blew towards the blonde samurai? Oh, what a long name.
Icky. Yonia, this is a really strange name.
Who's this Cowabunga? It's pronounced Kayabuki Ike. That would be me, Outlander, a new series of mine. Wind of Death blew toward...
Worry about friends? Says that everyone has to have best.
Absolutely not. Clichés in one of my novels. This is a book about betrayal, blood, and tears. A long and lonely struggle. A stubborn samurai's path to the truth. This is the kind of story that needs to be told.
Oh, is that right? Well, I'm not sure that's a very, suitable story for Klee. We need to keep looking around.
Hey, miss! Don't go! Are you sure you don't want a copy? I'll give you 40% off!
Flowers for Princess Fischl. Oh, look! It's Fischl's door! Now that I know Fischl's story. Fischl always hangs out with Oz. Everyone in the Adventurers Guild knows. It's just like how me and Dodoko are always together. I wonder if Todoko is getting bored now.
Oh, Klee, I'm afraid it can't be helped. There are a lot of flammable items at the festival, and we have to be careful not to start a fire.
Darn. It seems like even the Iridori Festival can't cheer Klee and you and me up. There must be plenty of things you can do with Todoko besides lighting fireworks and going fish blasting.
Yeah, like, Wait, so that's what you're suggesting?
That's right! The Iridori Festival is a place for putting your work on display. You could show Dodoko's story for everyone here! Bingo! What do you think of... Mr. Alvin, paint? I can the story of Dodoko's adventure in Inazuma.
I think it's a great idea. We could even put the finished story on display at the festival.
Yay! Great! Dodoko will be so happy!
Perfect! Okay, so I have some paper, paintbrushes, and paint at the shop. Let's go to the shop and paint your story there.
Yay! Let's go! Let's go! Those two can run so fast when they're motivated. We better catch up.
Big hit.
Please, get in line over here.
Thanks for your support.
Get in line over here.
I hear the voice of fate, speaking my name in humble supplication. I created another universe and founded paradise, for I, Fischl, am the Prinzessin de
Please, get in line over here.
Blinder Brigade will definitely be a big hit.
Maybe I could just turn my diary into a light novel.
You want the latest issue? Thanks for your support.
Please, get in line over here.
I do worry about the well-being of my retinue during my impromptu absence.
I'm the of the Adventurers Guild, or absolute Fräulein.
Please, get in line over here.
Now Blinder Brigade will definitely be a big hit.
I created another universe and founded paradise, for I, Fischl, am the Prinzessin de
Please, get in line over here.
Now Blinder Brigade will definitely be a big hit.
I hear the voice of fate, speaking my name in humble supplication.
Please, get in
I
line.
created another universe and founded paradise, for I, Fischl, am the Prinzessin de
Blinder Brigade will definitely be a big hit.
Maybe I could just turn my diary into a light novel.
Please, get in line over here.
Thanks for your support.
Maybe I could just turn my diary into
Now Blinder Brigade will definitely be a big hit.
I created another universe and founded paradise, for I, Fischl, am the Prinzessin de
latest issue?
Please, get in line over here.
Wine is real good at the festival.
Worry about of my ret.
Get in line over here.
Support. Outlander Brigade will definitely be a big
I created another universe and founded paradise. For I, Fischl, and the Prinzessin de
Maybe I could just turn my diary into a light novel. You want the latest issue? Thanks for your support.
Please, get in line over here.
I really want to invite Miss Ryoko to the festival.
I hear the voice of fate, speaking my name in humble supplication.
Maybe I could just...
Please, get in line over here.
The latest issue? Thanks for your support.
Outlander Brigade will definitely be a big hit.
May the glory of the Prinzessin bring light to the world.
Get
Another universe and founded paradise. For I, Fischl, and the Prinzessin de
Outlander Brigade will definitely be a big hit.
Please, get in line over here.
You want the latest issue? Thanks for your support.
I do worry about the well-being of my retinue during my impromptu absence.
I'm sure the good people of the Adventurers Guild are absolutely fine, mein Fräulein.
Invite Miss Ryoko to the festival. This part is a bit more.
Clee and I just had a discussion, and we've decided we're gonna keep the content of the story a secret from you guys for now. Obviously, I can't tell you why. Or, you'll see. You can keep exploring the festival while we're busy in the shop. We'll be here when you get back. Come on, Noemia, we should get going. Let's go inside and start painting. Oh, Paimon was hoping that we could all paint together. So unfair. Actually, Paimon's got an idea. Come on, let's go around to the windows and take a sneaky peek.
I still think we should change it. This part is a bit boring.
So, what does Dodoko do after getting to Inazuma? Dodoko goes to eat. It looks beautiful! Once you're done painting, let's go get it printed. We'll print a whole bunch of copies and go hand to the festival. Oh, a lot more to get. Yeah? Laura? Not quite enough. For ideas. Fairy Knight has helped a lot already. I don't want to trouble him, so I think I should just go fish blasting to earn some mora. No fish blasting. Oh, then we've got no choice. We'll have to go see Mr. Albedo. Who's Mr. Albedo? He's my older brother. He's super duper smart. He can do anything. And he knows how to paint, too. He paints Hilichurls, Kaya, and even Dodoko. That's why he came to Inazuma this time. Artist? Oh, that means he has has two jobs. One as an alchemist, teaching sucrose alchemy, and the other as an artist, doing paintings for people. Yoimiya, let me show you something. Mr. Albedo taught me you can paint Dodoko's color like this.
Wow, I can see the resemblance. All right, I'll paint the streets, and Klee, you fill in Dodoko's colors. Hey, you can even write the story over here to explain what's happening in the painting.
Okay, let's write this. Those two sound like they really did go on an adventure with Dodoko. They couldn't be happier.
Now, we have to get Dodoko's story printed. Come on, let's go to the Publishing House. Here we are. This is the Yai Publishing House.
Yai Publishing House. Ooh, it's Auntie Aratani. I know Auntie Aratani.
Who's that calling? Oh, it's the little girl who came with Mr. Calx. Help you, little.
Honey, can you help Dodoko's story printed? You can see it.
Oh, so you've been writing a story, huh? Is Dodoko the main character? Not only that, Dodoko is also real. Look! Huh? I don't quite understand.
We'd better explain this to her.
Oh, I see. Oh, I'd love to help you make this wish come true, but I'm sorry. The deadline has passed for accepting printing orders for the Irodori Festival.
Auntie, are you saying Dodoko will be able to meet it after all?
Oh, it's sad. Me and the travel. Miss Aratani, is there any way at all we can still get this printed? We can pay extra. And if you're short on staff to help with the printing, I can pitch in. Miss Yoimiya, I understand your sentiment, but I'm afraid it's not as simple as that. We've been printing many people's personal works for this festival, and a lot of the books are already well behind schedule. And the printing press is already working overtime to try and catch up. At a time like this, we really can't squeeze any more jobs in. I remember this one time when I was little. Pop said he'd take me to the festival, but he was so busy with work that he forgot all about it. I waited and waited, wondering when Pops was there. People started coming to the festival. I cried, if we can't get it printed, then we'll just have to find our own way. I can paint. Over the next few days, I'll paint as many as I can. Then we'll take those to the festival.
My, Yoimiya has quite spirit.
Lady Ai.
It's okay, I know. You were just following the rules. Plus, we really are quite behind schedule with the printing. But our mission at Yai Publishing House is to bring dreams and happiness to the masses. It would be a crying shame if we couldn't even help one adorable little girl fulfill her wish. Let me think. Oh, I know. Yoimiya, little girl, you can print your book, but on one condition, okay?
Of course, Lady Gucci. Just tell us. Whatever this condition is, I am ready to face it.
Dear me, it's nothing that horrendous. You make it sound like I'm some sort of wicked witch. All I mean is, if you want to get your work printed now, there is only one way. You have to combine it with another print. However, there is only a small amount of space remaining in the book in question. Your book is too big, so you have to reduce it to about half the size to make it fit. Is this a sacrifice that you're willing to make?
Clee, Lady Gucci is saying that we can print the book if we shrink it to half the size. Are you okay with that? Yup, I am. Thanks, Miss Gucci lady.
What a girl. Well, that settles it. It's printed with tonight's batch.
Yes, Lady, I'll get right on it.
Combining the prints is a plausible solution, but it'll cause a lot of extra work for the printing press. I am terribly sorry about that.
No problem. Just think of it as my greeting gift for little Clee. Besides, the Yai Publishing House will need your help with the illustrations again next time, Mr. Calx. You could also consider it as my investment in you. All right, I won't disturb you two any longer. Bye-bye now.
Yay! Everything worked out perfectly. Now, we just...
Xi is family, after all.
Look, Mr. Honorary Knight, Auntie Aratani brought the local story. Finally see what secret... It's really nothing that thing. The story of Totoko and me. And me. And you guys.
This is Paimon's first time featuring in a printed book! Woohoo! Paimon's gonna be famous!
Of course we included Paimon! This is the story of everyone's big happy adventure with Dodoko.
This story is Mia Mia's gift from Mr. Honorary Knight.
Lady Yai wanted me to inform you that since this book was printed together with another work, there are many more copies than you may have anticipated. We won't charge you a printing fee, but in exchange, the extra copies of your book will be included as a free gift with pieces of the other book. Is that...
Yeah.
Hey!
Book. Oh, Clee's a writer? Huh.
Klee's mother, Alice, is a renowned adventurer in Teyvat, and the Inazuma edition of her popular Teyvat travel guide series is set to be released imminently. Lady Yai has already decided on how to promote it, a joint endeavor by Teyvat's biggest and best mother-daughter adventure duo. It's sure to be a huge hit.
Paimon knew it! Miko would never do anything for free.
A typical move by Lady Yai. It works out well for everybody, doesn't it?
Yup! I'm super happy because my book gets to be released together with Mommy's book. It's like me and Mommy going on an adventure together. Oh, I'm so glad Irodori Festival is the best!
Check out our fairy tale picture books. Suitable for all. To request please apply here.
No rest for the wicked.
Don't miss the official store of the Yai Publishing House. Check out our fairy tale picture books. Suitable for all ages. To request a fan fiction booth, please apply here.
Please be mindful of your personal safety at all times.
Definitely be a big hit.
Don't miss the official store of the Yai Publishing House.
The ending in the original like that at all.
I just absolutely love this fandom.
May the glory of the Prinzessin bring light to this world.
Traveler, Paimon, how are you?
You must be Calx. It's a great pleasure to finally meet you. I am the author of A Legend of Sword, forgive me. It's rude of me to introduce myself by my pen name when meeting in person. Please, call me Xingqiu.
And you may call me Albedo, then.
No, that would be most improper.
Why not? Seeing as we're both friends of the Traveler, it'd be more convenient for us to use our real names. Besides, we've already corresponded with each other many times before. In fact, I feel a bit self-conscious seeing you act so politely.
It's not just you, Albedo. We haven't seen Xingqiu act this awkward before either.
You guys, it's certainly not good taste for you two to be teasing me like that. Oh, by the way, we happened to find a story from the poem hunt competition at the docks. I heard that you are collecting them.
Poem hunt?
That thing where we have to find pieces of paper with stories of the five cousin. Venti found one, and then he was allowed to be a model for one of your portraits.
Huh? Oh, yes, that's right. Oh, I understand the story now. Thank you. It's very helpful.
Splendid. Though, I'm still piecing together the story myself. Would you kindly explain it to me in more detail?
If all of you are free, why don't we discuss this over a meal?
Well, about that.
Do you have other plans, Shincho?
No, not at all. Speaking of dining, Shimura's unagi chasuke is quite delicious. Would you like to go there?
Shimura's. Unfortunately, today is a bit windy. How about Uyu Restaurant instead?
That's perfectly fine with me. I must first...
Something didn't quite add up just now.
Huh? No way! Paimon thinks we act well together. Is something we...
No.
Shincho's this. Hey!
You're a poem, right? Although it may seem confusing to Shincho on its own, what if we read it together with a previous poem we found?
Read them together? Let's see. Suiko lost Aoi no Okina's poem in a drunken stupor. So, Aoi no Okina recovered the poem and gave it to some mysterious person. Huh? Wait a minute. Could today's story be hinting that the one who stole the latest copies of A Legend of Sword is Shincho himself? No way! That can't be right! Shincho only arrived in Inazuma this morning!
And that is precisely the point of suspicion. If Shincho had only just arrived in Inazuma, how could he recommend Shimura's chasuke? Moreover, he didn't raise any questions when I suggested another place because of the windy weather. This means he knows that it's an open-air restaurant.
Are you saying that Shincho has been in Inazuma some time, and that he's only pretending he just arrived?
Yes, that is indeed my conclusion.
But how could Shincho be the book thief? His mission is to fight for justice, isn't it? There's no way he'd do something against his own ideals.
Calm down, Paimon. Even though this is the first time I've met Shincho in person, we've communicated via letters for some time now. I do have some understanding of his character. I think there must be some deeper motive at play here. The story also tells us that Aoi no Okina flees with a poem because of a threat.
Oh? Could Shincho be in danger?
It's difficult to say at this point. But given that Uyu Restaurant is indoors, it'll be easy for us to detect anyone following or eavesdropping on us. I think it should be safe for us to talk there. I'll be relying on your assistance to get to the bottom of this matter. Good. Then let's head to Uyu Restaurant.
If you're tired of walking all around the restaurant.
Be still.
Born of ice and frost.
Cascade.
I don't see anyone suspicious around. It seems clear for the moment. Let's go inside and wait for Xingqiu.
Oh, this whole thing's starting to make Pai nervous.
Why don't you go and chat with other guests in the restaurant and see if you can learn anything useful?
Albedo, what should we talk about when Xingqiu gets here?
I will try to break the ice by talking about our work on novels and illustrations. If he really is hiding something, then he might feel even more nervous than we do. If we start by talking about our work creating novels, perhaps he will lower his guard.
Oh, come to think of it, Xingqiu mentioned that he'd like to thank you for finishing the illustrations on time. He said they looked amazing despite the time you had.
Is that so? That is also a very valuable...
Please, talk to me if you want to order.
The last phase of the Irodori Festival is when they release the one I'm really looking forward to is A Legend of Sword.
That's right. A signed first edition is going to become quite the collectible. I've got to get my hands on a copy.
I've seen Genyu's signature before. His handwriting is super neat. He must be really diligent about his style.
He'll be there in person on the day of the release, so we'll get a good look at him then. I hear that he's actually pretty young.
Wait a minute, did you just hear that? Not only will Xingqiu be signing novels at the release, but his handwriting is super neat?
Welcome to Uyu Restaurant.
Hello there. What can I get for you?
Hi, do you have any special recommendations today?
Why, of course. I personally recommend our freshly caught seafood. It's been pouring these past few days, so the fishing boats haven't been able to sail at all. But the weather finally cleared up today, so we have some fresh catch.
So the weather at sea has been bad these past few days?
It sure has. A few guests from Liyue were just telling me that their boat was heaving and rolling all the way here. They couldn't do anything but sleep the entire trip.
Oh, this might be some use.
That was
We were worried you might not have an appetite because you didn't sleep well. Now's our chance. Let's talk to Xingqiu and see if he says anything useful. Maybe we could start by asking him about the journey. It doesn't seem to be suspicious about what...
peak of Mount Yogo finally appeared in the distance as we approached the islands of Inazuma. Everyone crowded the deck to have a look. However, the ship sailed along at a crawling pace. From the time I saw the mountain peak to the
entire day to reach the docks. Then it would have...
Let's discuss creating novels with Xingqiu.
Speaking of illustrations, Albedo, I've long wished to express my sincerest for providing the illustrations in my novel. My novel didn't sell in Liyue, so I must admit that I had some reservations regarding its potential, though what I was trying to express could be understood after all.
Thank you. However, I took some risks in the illustrations, so I'm feeling slightly uneasy myself. Light novel illustrations are typically centered around the characters, but this time, I adopted a different approach in the illustration for the last chapter.
Well, that scene was intended to depict the change in the world, so I thought it very fitting to draw only scenery.
Doesn't sound like anything suspicious has come up so far.
No, there was a crack in his alibi. My illustrations were sent for printing the moment they arrived in Inazuma. So, logically speaking, there's no way he could possibly know what the illustrations look like. Xingqiu, we have something very important to ask you.
Oh? Why the solemn looks all of a sudden? Huh? I'm afraid I don't follow.
Mr. Okazaki told us earlier that actually the weather at sea was very bad these last few days. So when you said that everyone came running to the deck to see Mount Yogo, that couldn't have happened.
On top of that, the latest installment of A Legend of Sword will only be revealed at the Irodori Festival. Even we...
For today, weren't you? Are you in some kind of danger but can't tell us the truth? Don't worry, the Traveler and Albedo are no pushovers. We can help you.
No, please. You misunderstand me. I suppose my lack of sleep is inevitably taking its toll on my mind. I didn't notice for a moment you were testing me at all. I did in fact come to Inazuma early to handle some things. Consider how to explain this. Oh, this is most embarrassing.
Oh, well, if this isn't a coincidence, I didn't expect to see everyone here.
Huh? Tone-deaf Bard, what are you doing here?
I heard that the owner of this establishment has some fine-aged wines. I didn't want to miss the opportunity to taste them.
Paimon knew you couldn't possibly be up to anything good.
Says who? In fact, I come as the bearer of good tidings. I just bumped into Kujo Sara a moment ago. She said that the Tenryou Commission has apprehended the criminal who stole all those copies of A Legend of Sword. You needn't worry about it any longer.
Huh? The criminal who stole A Legend of Sword?
Did I say something I shouldn't have?
Oh no. The person they apprehended. Was it by chance an editor named Onodera?
Apologies, Kujo Sara didn't mention a name. But I saw her taking someone toward Hanamizaka.
Everyone, it's too late to explain. We must make haste and rescue Onodera.
Restaurant. Talk to me if you want to order.
Please speak to President Sun.
comes around, I'll make a new firework for her. Next time that little girl comes around, I'll make a new firework for her.
I still think we should change it. This party's a bit boring.
Please, wait! Onodera is innocent!
Oh, so you must be the author of A Legend of Sword. I didn't expect to see others tagging along with you.
Anyway, you mustn't take him away. I can explain everything.
No need to worry, Zhenyu. I've just explained everything to Madame Kujo, and Kuroda has testified for me.
Yes. In fact, we were just to...
Oh, what a relief.
Precise. We had dispatched 2 additional squads here, in order to prevent the suspect from escaping.
Shinjo looks pretty flustered.
The situation now. Keep it secret. I'm the one responsible for the whole predicament.
No, Zhenyu. It's only appropriate that I take responsibility for this. Everyone, please let me explain. For the Irodori Festival, I recommended the idea of selling newly released novels signed by the authors. Not only was this the first major project I was in charge of since joining the Yai publishing house, but Lady Yai also gave me a lot of support. However, I did not discuss our plans with the authors in advance. As a result, it caused a great deal of trouble for Zhenyu.
Yes, to be frank, calligraphy is not my strong point, so signing events are really not my forte.
Even though such an event will be difficult for Zhenyu, after telling him how important the plans were to me, he immediately... So these past few days, Zhenyu has been actively practicing his handwriting. So I came up with the idea of moving the new books from the warehouse to my place. I thought everything would work out without a hitch. So I was in my house. I wanted to prove myself through this event.
Onodera, I agreed to your proposal because I didn't want the readers to know unsightly handwriting. Also, I knew that Onodera had been misled by one of my prior signatures. At a previous event, the Yai publishing house had requested autographs of authors so that they could be put on display. I practiced tirelessly for an entire day to finally deliver a stylish and elegant signature for the event. But looking back on it now, I had dug myself into a hole by delivering that nice signature for the sake of my pride.
Hey, come on, you two. Loosen up a little. The theft was nothing more than a simple misunderstanding. Besides, everyone has something they do not wish others to see.
Yeah, that's right. All that matters is that Shinjo and his books are okay.
Onodera, I think you should explain the truth regarding the stolen books to the rest of the people on Rito.
Yes, I understand.
We should probably be heading back to Rito as well.
Access denied.
Onodera, what are you doing here? Aren't you supposed to be on leave these few days?
I'm very sorry for all the trouble that I've caused.
Yes, Onodera, but why didn't you tell everyone earlier? If you had told me, I could have thought of some ways to help you.
That's right. We're a team, and we should be helping each other in tough situations like this.
Let's leave the past behind us now. Our first priority is to help Zhenyu with his signatures. How is your progress so far?
My progress is not what I had hoped for. Even after working through the night these past few days, I've only finished perhaps 1/10 of the signatures.
Oh, no wonder Shincho looked so sleepy today.
I understand. Murata, go back to Yae Publishing House and get Aratani to book a room on the second floor of the Uyu restaurant. We'll be using it for Gen Yi's emergency calligraphy lessons.
Yes, Mr. Hirayama. It just so happens that my brother is a calligrapher. Should I ask him to lend his assistance as well?
Yes, good idea. Ah, you've just reminded me. 2 calligraphers from Liyue arrived today. We've worked with them before, so I'll go and ask them to help out too.
It seems I'm really in for it now.
No need to worry, Zhenye. I'm sure you can do it. Didn't you finish the last chapter of your novel in just 1 week's time?
Yes, but writing novels and learning calligraphy are 2 entirely different skills.
Even though Shincho still has to deal with his handwriting issue, Paimon somehow feels a little relieved now.
I always used to prefer working alone in my workshop, but I've come to realize that solving problems with others also has its merits.
We also owe a special ode of gratitude to the mysterious person who has been leaving important info for us along the way.
You mean whoever left those stories about the 5 cousin?
But what are you talking?
Oh, right. We haven't had a chance to explain things.
I see. It appears that Onodera and I were spotted when we were moving the books. Albedo, may I ask you one thing? Are you able to include me in a portrait as well? Not only do I owe the successful resolution of today's incident to that story, but I also hope that I'll remember this lesson.
No problem. Considering the similarities between the portrait and the events that have taken place, your proposal is very reasonable.
That figure was none other than Aoi no Okina himself. This turn of events had begun with an unnamed individual, under whose coercion Aoi no Okina was forced to take drastic measures to retrieve a page of poetry.
In no time at all. Wonder how Shincho's calligraphy training is going at Uyu Restaurant. Oh, hello? Mr. Storywriter? Are you here? Could you please help Shincho with something? He's a friend of ours and the release of his new book is super important to him. Reveal themselves that easily. It's getting late now. Well, let's go back and get some rest. We still have to go to the docks and wait for another ship tomorrow morning.
Enjoy the blessings, Master Lord Kusanagi. Salvation blessing now 10% off.
time for us to be at the docks. Let's go! The arrival schedule says ship stopover, 1 person. Does that mean we're only welcoming 1 guest today?
Greetings, traveler in Paimon. I heard there would be guides for the Irodori Festival, but I didn't expect it would be you two.
We didn't expect to see you either! Returning.
I was a little surprised myself when I received the invitation. But after wandering the outside world for so long, it's good to have an opportunity to return to my homeland and...
Kazuha, when we saw you in the distance just now, you seemed to be looking for something. What happened?
Ah, yes. You see, when I came off the boat with everyone just now, I suddenly heard light footsteps around me. I could tell they were not footsteps of a regular passenger. But by the time I turned around, the person had already disappeared. I only heard a splash come from below the pier. Even though I didn't manage to catch a glimpse of them, I found this stripper by my feet.
Oh, does the paper happen to have a poem written on it?
Huh. How did you know? Fascinating. It's almost hard to believe such things could happen. Sure, here it is. Please, have a look.
Last time, Aoi no Okima's poem ended with a reference to Akahi's story this time, Big. Well, if Paimon were to rate today's story, it sounds pretty unfortunate.
I don't have anything particular.
Akihito was chosen because of his rhymes. You should... Huh? Traveler?
Ah, by the way, you mentioned that your friend has been struggling because he's unable to sign his name quickly, right? In Liyue and Inazuma, there is a saying, that which has been stamped has also been signed. Perhaps using a seal could be a feasible solution. While sailing at sea, I sometimes carve things to pass the time. If you wish to create a stamp for his seal, I might be able to help.
Wow! Yeah? Quick,
Next on the agenda.
Interesting. Of the 5 costs in the period. Timely solution. A stamped seal, huh? Let me think. Indeed, it is an efficient solution. If we use a stamp, then Xingqiu won't have to struggle with his handwriting anymore. However, since Xingqiu's signature has been previously revealed to the readers, it would seem insincere if he only used the stamped seal for his new books. But I have another idea. Using a seal is a part of it, of course. Let's go to Uya Restaurant now to discuss my idea with everyone.
Yes, that's it, Zhenyu. Your writing has greatly improved today, which means yesterday's intensive training was effective.
My apologies, but I simply can't do it anymore. My hands are so sore that I can't even move them anymore. I should have known better than to read novels during calligraphy class.
You just had a 10-minute break. Come on, you can do this.
When it comes to pushing a deadline, there is no one more brutal than me.
No wonder Lady Yi would always send the editorial director to handle some author.
Whoa, this is getting scary. Been that long and she's so terrified.
Mr. Hiro, dilemma. In both used as the equivalence of a signature. If we use a stamp to leave the author's seal on the books, then we could make the signature process a lot easier. Of course, a seal on its own is not enough. So, I propose that each signature consists of 2 parts. First, we'll use a personalized seal. We can simply carve one using Chenyu's signature as the design. In addition, I'll also design a simple but elegant pattern that's easy for Chenyu to write. That way, he will only need to draw a simple pattern on each book.
Let me think. All right, I think that would work. Not only does it still involve the author's own handwriting, the result should be very beautiful as well.
To say,
Calx's proposed method, we might have enough time to do signatures at the live event. And if all the authors sign their books in the same fashion, then Genyu's signature wouldn't look out of place.
If you think it's feasible, I would certainly be happy to design signatures for the other authors as well.
Yes, and you may leave carving the stamps to me.
In that case, I shall contact the other 2 authors participating in the new release event.
It is a great honor to use a signature designed by Calx.
My pen name is quite complicated and isn't suitable for signing events. However, if we implement this new format, then it'll be a dream come true for me as well.
Great! Looks like everyone's on board with the idea.
I'm sorry to have kept you busy for so long, Zhenyu. Please, take the next few days to rest. We'll handle everything from here. Already signed can be used as in future publishing.
Did it? The event is safe.
Onodera and I are free of that.
Oh, maybe you should step outside for fresh air.
Welcome to Uyu Restaurant. Please.
We still have some time to burn. Where should we go next?
Traveler, there you are.
Oh, it's Ika!
festival venue to a strange piece of paper on a flower. As such, we came together to find you two.
But the paper she found isn't quite the same as the ones we found before.
Here's the paper. Please have a look.
Huh. All the poems we found before were roughly the same length. But this one is only 2 lines.
And even though there are only 2 short sentences, neither of them are next to the title or centered on the page. The position of the writing seems to indicate that there is other content written on this paper besides these 2 lines.
If we take the poem literally, it reads, "Dip this paper in water and see the truth naturally appear." Speaking of which, I have an ancient text at home, specializing in ancient and exotic stories. It mentions a special ink that will show itself when wet and disappear when it's dry.
So, shall we give it a whirl? It just so happens that there's a pond nearby.
Appeared. The story says that after Sumizomi got the collection of poems from Akihito and put them into a stream of water, the plagiarized words in the poem became blurry. Huh? Why would that happen?
You see, Paimon, in the past, when printing was not yet well developed, handwritten text could easily become smudged in books when exposed to moisture. To ensure the text lasted longer, they'd either write using a special ink or coat the paper's surface with a waterproof coating once the writing was finished. Such special inks are time-consuming and laborious. Waterproof coating for the plagiarized poems. Not only would they lack Akihito's seal, but the words would also react differently when exposed to liquid.
Which means Akihito didn't plagiarize it. He was set up!
The truth that Sumizomi's the story is used for Akihito and Sumizomi's portraits. Kazuha, would you models from paintings?
I would be delighted.
Portraits should be ready in no time.
And now that all 4 stories have all been collected, the story of the 5 Kasen is now fully completed.
Long ago, Inazuma had 5 legendary poets. People bestowed upon them the title of the 5 Kasen.
One year, the poet Suiko made his way to Tenshukaku and presented the Kasen's work for the shogun's perusal. But a page from the works of Aoi no Okina had been torn out, and Suiko was questioned regarding the matter.
That figure was none other than Aoi no Okina himself. This turn of events had begun with an unnamed individual, under whose coercion Aoi no Okina was forced to take drastic measures to retrieve a page of poetry. He knew nothing of his true intentions. It was that the poem had to do with an old prince, Akihito.
Kasen's poem he marked with a scarlet red seal, hence the Aka in his name. Such a distinguished writer was he, and yet one of the poems he had submitted the previous year was found to be plagiarized. Akihito was exiled for his crimes, and only 4 of the 5 kasen remained.
Sumizome went over Akihito's poems and noticed that the plagiarized poem lacked his seal. She immersed his poetry in a stream nearby, and only on the plagiarized poem did the ink run. Pass by. He's doing Suiko's poetry submission, and this is where the story comes to an end.
It's so nice.
Yeah. Ever since we completed the story of the 5 Kasen, there's still one thing Paimon hasn't been able to figure out. One of the 5 Kasen is called Kuronushi, right? It's just that, how could the story of the 5 Kasen finish without him appearing at all?
Oh, have you really not noticed?
Huh? Not noticed what? This is no time to be playing games, Tone Deaf Bard!
What he means is that the story of Kuronushi was already embedded within the 4.
Huh? Really?
That's right. The key lies in the poem Hina wrote after seeing Sumizome rinsing the collection. An average person could never understand the scene of a young girl reading Akihito's poetry collection in a stream. Even Aoi no Okina couldn't figure out the meaning behind Sumizome's actions. He was simply reminiscing and thinking about his old acquaintances. However, for the perpetrator who framed Akihito, it was completely obvious. He was worried that if this poem was seen by the Shogun, then the Shogun could discover the truth behind the plagiarism incident. If that happened, then he'd be finished. So, in desperation, he threatened Aoi no Okina to make him tear out this poem.
Which means the one who threatened Aoi no Okina is the same person that framed Akihito. What? Yushi?
Right. Mysterious one with an unknown identity.
Oh, okay. Paimon is finally starting to get it now.
However, this also brings something else to mind. The story of the 5 Kasen has more or less reflected everything that's been happening around us lately. Which begs the question, is there a Kuronushi in our world as well?
A Kuronushi? In our world?
Speaking of which, I wonder if our dear Kazuha has come up with anything.
Oh, right! Kazuha! He's been early to buy your special edition drinks. Hey, Kazuha! Are you okay? You've been standing in front of this blank canvas for a while, and you don't look so good.
Apologies for making a wild assumption, but has the story of the 5 Kasen reminded you of anything?
Yes. A few things did come to mind, actually. However, they were nothing more than some past incidents regarding my family. I don't mind sharing the stories, but I'd prefer not to bring you any more trouble.
Hey, we're all friends here, Kazuha. You can always tell us whatever's on your mind.
Kaidehara, please forgive my assumption, but perhaps you were thinking of the Raiden Gokuden?
The Raiden Gokuden? What's that?
It appears that Miss Kamisato and I were thinking of the same thing, but it also has much to do with the Yashiro Commission. It would be improper to speak of it here without the consent of Miss Kamisato.
It's fine. Those of us here are all trustworthy, so there isn't any harm in it. However, this matter is somewhat complicated and may be difficult to explain. Let me start with the Raiden Gokuden. As you all know, the Yashiro Commission's primary purpose is managing ceremonial and cultural affairs, and Inazuma's art of forging swords is a very important part of our culture. The Raiden Gokuden were once the top 5 schools of the forging art in Inazuma. Although these families were swordsmiths by craft, they also held many important positions in the Yashiro Commission. Fortunately, only the Aminoma art retains its artisan lineage. The descendants of the Eden art are also still alive, but the craft has been lost to time. The descendants of the Ishin art are none other than the Kaidehara family.
Whoa! We knew Kazuha came from a noble family, but we had no idea about his connection to the Yashiro Commission and sword making.
Yes, but that's all part of the past now. The Ishin art was lost with my great-grandfather's generation. My grandfather was dissatisfied with my great-grandfather's lack of effort. When he was young, my grandfather traveled all over Teyvat to find a way to revive the family business. But it was to no avail. And in my generation, our last remaining family property was lost as well.
I heard my elder brother mention that the decline of the Raiden Gokuden happened very rapidly. Of the family. Fortune stemmed from some nations. Someone wanted to wipe out. Since not the Raiden came to ruin, explanations were treated as nothing more than a conspiracy.
Indeed. I've also believed such ideas were just theories and rumors. However, I know that a major incident happened to my great-grandfather when he was young. Not only did it affect the Kaedehara clan, but it nearly jeopardized the Kamisato clan's position in the Yashiro Commission as well. After reading the story of the 5 Kasen, I can't help but feel like it's pointing me toward the truth behind that incident.
What exactly happened to your great-grandfather, Kazuha?
I still can't say. I need to speak with someone to verify the details. Let's meet here again at noon tomorrow. I will tell you everything I know then.
Perfect distance! To the ferry!
Beautiful treasures are a cause for great happiness.
It's your lucky day! How's this? How's this?
me.